U.S. officials are debating the lifting of tariffs on China to get a trade deal, from the Wall Street Journal. Well, the truth is the U.S. is the biggest loser here. In 2018, despite this trade war of Trump, China's trade surplus, yung sobra pong export ng China sa Amerika, the trade surplus of China with America was the biggest in history. Welcome to our weekly report on Philippines-China relations and developments. Ating linggo-linggo po tinitingnan ang mga pangyayari sa pagitan ng Pilipinas at China, yung tulungan, yung cooperation. And so this week, we will start with several news items about China in, of course, relation to the conditions the Philippines is facing. The first item, of course, is the trade war. What is the status of the trade war? Well, from CNBC, the American news channel, U.S. officials are debating the lifting of tariffs on China to get a trade deal, from the Wall Street Journal. And let me just read some of the important points. Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin was considering a proposal to lift some or all of the U.S. tariffs on Chinese goods in a bid to push trade talks between the U.S. and China further. Or further along, sources tell the newspaper, the Wall Street Journal. However, the U.S. Trade Representative Robert Lighthizer is resisting the idea, worried that it could be considered a sign of weakness, the sources said. Well, the truth is the U.S. is the biggest loser here. In 2018, despite this trade war of Trump, China's trade surplus, yung sobra pong export ng China sa Amerika, the trade surplus of China with America was the biggest in history. And corollary to this, China, of course, is ready to help Trump and the United States of America. China has kept on saying that they do not like a trade war, they do not want it, but they will not back down. However, they are going soft on the U.S. and already committing to buy again American soybeans, which makes American soybean farmers happy again. They've agreed to bring down the tariff on American cars. These are concessions that allow Trump to go back to his people and say that he is winning some points for them. And so the good news, of course, corollary to this is the Chinese Vice-Premier Liu He is scheduled to go to the trade talks in Washington in January 30 and 31. Such a high-level official means that China is expecting some significant deals to be agreed upon with the United States. Second item, and this one may shock some people, magagulat po kayo dito. Russia buys a quarter of world Yuan reserves in shift from the dollar. The Central Bank of Russia moved the equivalent of $44 billion each into the European and Chinese currency. So, $88 billion total, $44 billion sa Chinese yuan in the second quarter, according to a report published on late Wednesday by the Bank of Russia, which discloses the data with a 6-month lag. Another $21 billion was invested in the Japanese yen. But corollary to this, we report to you the comment of the Bank of England on the Chinese yuan. China's yuan to challenge greenback as the world's main currency, the Bank of England governor says, Mark Carney. So, yung mga may Chinese yuan o yung wala pa, bumili na kayo. Dahil yun ay magandang savings po ninyo dahil lalakas ng lalakas ang Chinese yuan. Okay. Again, from the European Union, this important and interesting news, the European parliamentarian Nirj Deva, chairman of the European Union-China Friendship Group, says China has no colonial ambition. And Nirj Deva is a senior European parliamentarian. Whenever people, he says, in the West now say, oh, China is a colonial power, is going to take over people's land, I say it's absolute nonsense. They could have done that 100 times over in the past from 500 BC to 1700 AD, but it did nothing of that sort. Ano? Walang ginawang pananakop ang China sa libo-libong taong dumaan sa kasaysayan. So, ito, European parliamentarian na po itong nagsasalita, walang colonial ambition ang China. Eh bakit dito sa Pilipinas marami pang angaw-ngaw ng ngaw-ngaw tungkol sa mga pananakop ng China. Okay, now let's go to the Filipinos in China. Marami pong mga Pilipino, lalo na mga estudyante natin na nag-aaral po doon. So we'll report to you and you can access, mapapakinggan po ninyo ang mga interview with a Filipina working in the China Radio International, si Michelle Ramos. No? Si Michelle Ramos has been in China for very many years. Siya ay isa sa 3 o 4 na Pilipino dun sa China Radio International. Ito po ang ulat niya tungkol kay Justine Orduña of Nankai University, The Pulse of Philippine-China Relations. Nakatagalog po yan doon sa website ng China Radio International. I-access lang nyo sa Google o kung anong search engine ang gagamitin nyo, Yahoo, lalabas po yung China Radio International. May tab po doon na mga Pinoy sa China. Sabi ni Michelle, in our series of Filipino scholars in China, China Radio International focuses on Justine Orduña. She is in her first semester studies at the Zhao Enlai School of Government, Nankai University, Tianjin. She's taking up Masters of International Affairs and Public Policy. In the interview with CRI's Michelle Ramos, Ms. Orduña gives her sense of the state of China-Philippine relations, the two countries after the turn for the better in the mutual understanding. You can listen to the interview at the China Radio International segment, Mga Pinoy sa China. The second Filipino in China studying now there is Maria Teresa Flores. Siya po ay isang buhay scholar. She's a buhay scholar at the China Foreign Affairs University. Ms. Teresa Flores' China adventure started when she decided to study Mandarin language in Beijing in 2014. 4 years na po siya doon. She believed this is an investment in the career she is facing. After 2 years, Ms. Flores was given the opportunity to take up a master's degree. Being a scholar, Teresa is now on her 2nd year studying at the China Foreign Affairs University in Beijing. After the successful visit to the Philippines of President Xi Jinping, Teresa assesses the state of the Sino-Philippine relations. You can listen to that interview again at the China Radio International, Mga Pinoy sa China section. And thirdly, our third Filipino is Kenneth Diliena, a PhD, Dr. Kenneth Diliena, a scholar at the Shanghai University. Kenneth Diliena has been in Shanghai now for 2 years. He is one among a few Pinoy recipients of the China Government Scholarship for the year 2016. And by the way, this scholarship, every year there are 20 or more scholars from the Chinese Embassy here in Manila. You can inquire there kung anong mga available scholarships po. Kenneth is taking up a doctorate in sociology at the Shanghai University, College of Political Science and Sociology. Diliena says that in the field of sociology, Shanghai University is one of the leaders in the world, and that's why he chose to study his specialization here in Shanghai University. Before venturing to China, Kenneth was a member of the faculty of the De La Salle University here in Manila, in the Philippines. In his interview with CRI, Kenneth shares his reflections as a lone Pinoy student at the huge and prestigious university in the heart of the financial district of China. Kenneth also gives his sense of the aims of the Belt and Road Initiative that China is promoting, and promoting this towards creating a community of common destiny. Ayan po ang mga ulat natin tungkol sa China at sa mga nangyayari sa mundo in relation to China and the Philippines. So, tune in every week and we will replay this so you can keep up with these developments between China and the Philippines. These journeys, our Chronicles of our Asian Century, is the only show of its kind in the Philippines dedicated to Philippine-China relations and the Asian century. Okay, we will be discussing in our second segment for this week the Hanjin takeover and the discussions and debates on the matter. Our title for that is the Hanjin takeover. It's about economics. That's all it is. It's economics. But some have chosen to make it a political question. So, we'll take this break.